Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. We're up here by the chicken run today because we have a new addition to our homestead. The chickens have arrived officially at the homestead. My brother purchased these chickens, or most of these chickens, in the fall and raised them up through the winter. And now spring has come and he delivered them last week. So we have chickens on the homestead. So that's nice. It's a big accomplishment. I'll kind of go over the different breeds and I'll kind of give you some examples of maybe some advantages or to consider anyway when you're looking at chickens. Here are the chickens on the homestead. There's 5 hens and 1 rooster. The rooster, the white guy there, he is a salmon Faverolles. I've had roosters before of that breed, and that's probably my favorite one. They are a pretty docile rooster. They're not going to get real aggressive. If you have children around the homestead or you just don't like being chased by roosters, like most people don't, I think they're a good choice. The salmon Faverolles was actually bred in France, is where they're from, and probably back 1920s, something like that. And they're a very good bird for a rooster. They do a pretty good job of protecting the flock. Maybe the only downside is they're sometimes not aggressive enough, to protect from predators. So far, this guy seems to have done a good job, and he'll find food and signal the hens to come over. And I think he's going to be a really good bird here on the homestead. And not to mention, they're really pretty in the sun also. Then there's 4 of the hens that are black Ostalorp. They're a magnificent egg layer if you're in wanting egg layers. They'll lay 4, maybe 5 eggs a week. So that's really good. So if you have 4 or 5 of those on the homestead, you'll be set for eggs just fine. These birds here are around 6 months old, so I have one of them laying already. The rest will be soon behind. You can kind of tell when the birds are getting ready for egg laying. Their wattles and cones, they'll get brighter red, and the chickens kind of puff up a little bit. So you can see that these guys are getting real close to egg laying, beginning of egg laying years. They're a calm bird. If you have children around the homestead, they're easily adapted to children, and once they get used to people, they'll let you hold them if you want. And then I have the one brown one there is a Buckeye chicken. And they're also good. They're kind of a good dual purpose bird for either laying eggs or for a meat bird. They're a good, very curious chicken. Also calm, doesn't get too riled up. They're a little slower to start egg laying, but they're an excellent choice for the homestead, I believe. They were actually bred in Ohio back in the late 1800s. I don't think I mentioned the Ostalorp are actually a breed from Australia. Back, probably late 1800s also, something like that. So anyway, they've been here for about a week now. And as you can see, they're really tearing up the ground out here in the chicken run, doing an excellent job of that. And normally I have the door to their coop open here, so they can come in and out, but I kind of wanted to be out here without them all running into the coop. But I'll go ahead and open that up now, and I'm sure they may very well want to go in. They just feel safe in there. When they first came to the homestead, they stayed in the coop. Well, the chicken run wasn't quite 100% ready yet, so they stayed in the coop for about 2 or 3 days, which is probably not a bad idea. That kind of lets them know that that's their home and that's their safe spot. And now they'll go in there, in and out. I don't have to come out here and put them up at night. They all go in on their own and get on their roosts. Now, this area, as you probably know, is completely closed in chicken wire. Not chicken wire, rather. It's like the 2x4 squares. And it's buried in the ground. I had a possum digging out here the other night, trying to get under, but I think by burying the wire, that was good. I also had either a raccoon or a possum climb the outside of the coop, and actually that eave is about 3 inches, and somehow it got in the eave up there, and I had to come back and put boards up there. He didn't hurt any of the chickens, but I couldn't believe the coon would climb that and then get in a 3-inch little gap and then climbed over and then chewed its way down through the ceiling. I was pretty upset with myself for not doing a little better job there. You really have to kind of build your coop like a fortress to keep the animals out. I also had, last night, I had coyotes up basically right in the backyard on the homestead. I think one of my next additions needs to be a dog on the homestead to help keep the coyotes at bay and the coons and the possums and everything else. The cat, you see the cat there. Cat's not real good at running off coyotes. I don't know what his deal is. But anyway, he's good entertainment, and that's about it. He keeps the birds away, which doesn't really hurt anything. So I'll probably let him come and get like acquainted with the chickens while I'm here. He's been around chickens in the past when he was younger and was never a problem. I've had geese and he was never a problem. But anyway, there's the breeds that I chose for birds. Just a few breeds to consider if you're looking at getting breed for your homestead. The really good egg layers would be like your black Ostalorp, your Barred Rock. The Faverolles hens are good egg layers. Leghorns are good ones. Then you'll have like some breeds are a dual purpose, like good for meat and for eggs. So that would be like the Buckeye hen there. That's a good breed for either one. You also, the Rhode Island Reds are also a good dual breed. Buff Orpingtons are good one. And then you have other breeds that are bred more really for meat than for eggs. Not that you won't get eggs, but they're just excel at the meat, which means they probably are going to grow faster than other birds. They might be larger than other birds, have a good flavor. Those are going to be like your Cornish cross. I've never raised Cornish cross. They're a very fast growing bird, but I think, in my opinion anyway, I think they've been kind of bred for that a little too much. I mean, they will get, if you don't butcher them, they will like fall over because they grow too fast for their bones to handle. They have a lot of health complications if you're not. Now, if you're going to be butchering these, you know, at just a few months, you're fine. Even actually, I think it's like less than that, just a few weeks, you can butcher them. You're going to be good, but they're not a long-term bird. You can't keep them for a couple of years. They have so many health problems just because they've been bred to grow fast and have a lot of meat. And I think sometimes their bone structures just can't handle it. But anyway, they are a good one if you're wanting to raise up a bunch of birds and then butcher them out. The Cornish cross is one to consider. The Rangers, the Jersey Giant, the Wyandotte are all good breeds to consider. Of course, you can look online, you know, and kind of study which ones you think work best for your homestead. For me, I like the Black Ostalorp. I've had Barred Rock, and I thought they were very curious birds. You know, it's fun sometimes just to sit and watch the birds peck. And say for rooster, I just really like the Salmon Faverolles. I think they do a fair job of protecting, but they're not going to come after you and attack you either normally. So anyway, that's the ones I've chosen. And I said you can kind of do the research for your own homestead, or if someone out there has chickens for years and they know of a few other good breeds that they've really had good luck with, leave it in the comments. Be glad to hear, you know, everybody kind of work together on this thing. But anyway, I'm glad to have them here this week. Okay, we're inside the coop now. Always keep a good thing of water inside the coop and another one outside. The feed that I'm using is like an all stock kind of feed. There's oats and cracked corn and different things in there that's good for the chickens. Also, I'll take and break up eggshells, the old eggshells and such, put in their feed. That helps add calcium to their diet, which is important when they start laying eggs. You can also go to the farm store and buy crushed oyster, which also adds a lot of calcium to their diet, and it's a good thing to add. I leave my feed in this old metal can in here just to keep the mice away from it. I'm going to add that the Buckeye breed is also known for being good mousers, so they will help keep mice out of your coop and area. Here's where the chicken boxes are. I don't have any eggs today, but I've got about 5 eggs in the last week, which isn't bad since I think maybe only one of them is laying right now. So anyway, that's inside the coop. Okay, I also like to take y'all inside, and we're gonna get a little update on the seeds that we started last week. We have some of them coming up already, so we'll go down there next and we'll take a look at that. Okay, update. Last week, if you didn't join us, we covered starting plants indoors, and we already have quite a few coming up. The very first one sprouted through after about 5 days, and today is day 7, I believe it is. No, day 8, I'm sorry. And a lot of them are coming up now. The tomatoes, the eggplant haven't sprouted yet, but a lot of the tomatoes are coming up and they're looking pretty good. So that's exciting. I was glad to see that. Keeping them watered still. Misting with the sprayer, keeping the lights. I kind of have the lights lifted up right now a little bit to get a photo, but keeping the lights right down on it. Make sure they have plenty of light. And then I leave those on 12 hours a day, and I'll turn those off at night then. But so far, so good. We're making some progress here. Well, everybody, that just about wraps it up. Probably one of my next projects needs to be working on run outside of the cage for the chickens, so they can have a little bit bigger run area. Even though they won't be completely protected, they should be fine during the day. I just won't leave them out there at night. So that's kind of one of the next projects I need to work on around here. But anyway, appreciate y'all joining me, and I hope y'all have a good week coming up, and I hope to see y'all down the trail.